Shell Point, I'm Christy Skinner, Senior Director of Healthcare Services, joined with Paul Tyson, Director of Dining, bringing you another edition of Healthy Eating. And today we're at the Farmers Market, a great location. So
Absolutely.
We're thrilled today to talk to you about cabbage. Even though it looks a lot like lettuce, cabbage is a great nutritional food source that may take you by surprise with its versatility. It's used in fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi, and the all-time classic side dish of coleslaw, but it can be created into so much more. To start, cabbage is packed with great nutrition and is low in calories with only 22 calories per cup. It is loaded with vitamin K, which is critical for blood clotting, and vitamin C. Red cabbage is particularly loaded with vitamin C, which fights against heart disease, but also other micronutrients such as vitamin A, iron, and riboflavin. Also contained in cabbage is vitamin B6 and folate, which are important for energy metabolism and the normal functioning of our nervous systems. Another benefit of cabbage is that it's rich in antioxidants that help reduce inflammation. Our bodies depend on inflammatory responses to protect against infection and speed up the healing process. The more we eat anti-inflammatory foods, the better condition we are in for healing and recovery. Cabbage can also be good for our overall digestion, and did I mention it tastes delicious? Paul and I are in a great location right here in your backyard on the island at our very own farmers market, where you can source a great variety of healthy selections. So Paul, tell me a little bit about the history of the farmers market.
Oh, I will do one better. I'll bring in the history of the farmers market. This is Colleen with C&J Produce, who has been here for
11 years.
11 years the farmers market has been at Shell Point, and I believe it didn't start originally here in front of the Crystal.
No, it actually started down by the Orchid House in the park on the water. We used to get to watch the dolphins follow the boats through the water. It was a beautiful spot, and it was lovely because all the residents used to be able to see us, you know, from their windows in the lanais and say, "Oh yes, it's Friday," you know. So that was really, really nice. We've been through a few different moves, and this is our final destination. This is where we are. We were at the Woodlands all summer for about 10 months while this was under construction, and here we are back at the courtyard, and we love it over here.
So glad to have you back here at the
Thank
courtyard.
you.
So right in front of the Crystal, every Friday from about 8:30 in the morning.
You can
so
come anytime after 8.
anytime
Yeah.
after 8, so about 12, 12:30.
Till about 12, 12:30. We get here about 3:30, so if anybody wants to bring me a cup of coffee, I'm game.
That's early.
Coffee for produce, huh? Nice deal there.
I'm just messing around.
And you've been, obviously your produce, you've been bringing it for 11 years, and the
Yes.
residents have been eating it and living off it and cooking with it all these years. So we really appreciate the time
Thank
that you
you.
spend here at Shell Point and all the wonderful things you do here.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Love being here.
Well, we appreciate it. Well, we'll let you get
Thanks.
back to work and
Okay,
taking good care of
awesome.
our residents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day and happy Thanksgiving.
And
too.
you don't get off the hook as easy because I've got some more questions for
No
you, Paul.
worries.
So Paul, the standard American diet is changing all the time, as we know. Sometimes eggs are good for us, sometimes eggs are bad for us. But the power of the farmer to table or the farm to table movement has become really intense. And we're wondering, tell us how the local farmers market has had an impact on that movement.
So I'd like to say that I believe the farmers market was the beginning of the movement before it was a movement. So if you want to take farm to table to a literal sense, these ladies and gentlemen have been picking from the farms the best of the best and bringing it to our farmers markets for years and years and years to come. So I actually feel they are the farm to table. You know, they source our chefs like to go to farmers markets. They've picked only the best of the best to bring it. So I really think that the farmers market is ground zero for farm to table, in my opinion. And we're blessed to have one like this here at Shell Point every Friday again.
And the taste is like none other. When you get produce at the grocery store, it almost doesn't even taste like the vegetable or the fruit that it
Correct.
represents. And when you get it at the farmer's market, I think the difference is that you typically get it from the local farms in the area. Is that correct?
From that day, most of our grocery stores and stuff are set up for large amounts of people. So the farmers market are designed for a little bit smaller clientele. So you do bring the best of the best, but they farm them that morning. They go to the farms that morning, they collect what they need, and they bring it right out to the table. So very interesting, very healthy, and fresh, as you can get.
That's excellent. So You know that you're getting really good produce, you know that you're getting really fresh produce, you know that you're getting it when it's ripe and not that it's being ripened with gases and other chemicals
Correct.
that typically make it taste not so good and not so good for us as well, which I think is really important. So how do you incorporate fresh local produce into the menus here at Shell Point? Because I think that's important for our residents to know and to encourage them to come and try local produce here at the restaurant. So tell us a little bit about that.
So we partner very closely with our vendors. Oaks Farm and Fresh Point are our biggest ones, and GFS as well. We actually have their salesmen come out and they do tastings with us, and they take us through what's seasonal and what's not. They even offer up recipes in certain occasions where, hey, this food is great in our warehouse right now, we'd love to sell it to you, and here's some of the items that you can make with it. We're setting up hopefully some field trips and things like that for maybe residents and employees to actually go out to the farms that we get the produce from, check them out, and then come back with a better sense of where the food's coming from and how fresh it truly is, and the care that's taken in producing it, farming it, and then the chefs and their experience and their talents to actually put it together on a plate and bring it to us in the restaurants.
So speaking of chefs, we just spoke about Cabbage and the great nutritional impact of Cabbage. And so what better way than to bring Chef Sean from the Crystal, because we're on the island and the Crystal is located on the island, so it's pretty convenient to talk about how Chef Sean created Cabbage into a wonderful menu item that you can find here locally at the Crystal. So Chef Sean, thanks for coming back to the series. We've had you once before. Tell us how you incorporated cabbage into a wonderful dish.
Well, we used fresh cabbage, green cabbage, with some fresh purple cabbage, with some fresh carrots, red onions, cilantro, spring mix, with a toasted sesame seed vinaigrette. It's got edamame on there as well with fried wontons. It's very delicious. It's one of our newer items on the menu.
Excellent. So you can come to the Crystal and come talk to Chef Sean about a wonderful way that he's incorporated cabbage. And I bet you he has a lot of other ideas for how to incorporate cabbage into your cooking at home too. So not only do they give you an option to try at the Crystal, which is a great reason, a great excuse to come to the Crystal dining room and try a good menu item, but I bet Chef Sean can give you some great ideas to try at home or how to eat cabbage and incorporate it into your diet at home. So thank you for joining us today, Chef Sean. Thank you, Paul, for always joining me and being willing to be my partner in crime and healthy eating. And until next time, Shell Point, stay healthy.